The good feeling of doing bad things is cheap. The cost of guilt is expensive, and sometimes the consequences are deadly, more bitter. I just feel. So I wrote this very absurd line yesterday, and there is a story behind this, and I just want to share with you all about that in this video. So I wrote these things yesterday after coming back with an extremely guilty heart and a very bitter taste in my mouth. So I'll just tell you the complete context. I don't know if it's really intuitive or not, but from the last 2 months I've been going on and off to the library. I think it's before Jan. It was in the last few days of December when I started going to the library because I was too much stuck. My thoughts were too much stuck staying at home. So being at home, I was not socializing at all, and sometimes your thoughts tend to catch you up when you are too much in your head. I'll talk about that further someday. I just don't want to encounter that now. So I was going to the library, and at a point of time, it really felt like, yes, I'm again getting back to my earlier pace where it was 4 years back when I was a like a regular goer there. So after going around 1.5 months, I was slowly getting that same kick of studying for hours, sitting on the table with so many people around who share very similar ambitions as you. So it was good until a time came when this restlessness inside of me again caught up, even though I changed my surrounding environment. So, on and off between studies, I started taking breaks. First, it was a tea break, that it slowly elongated further, and I started walking around the library campus. It was also good. Everything was also good because I was also studying, but then one of my terrible bad habit caught up to me, and it was cigarettes. So I'll refer to it as cig because I'm at home, so I don't can't really talk about it now. But I have this terrible bad habit of smoking one stick of cig a day since I was in Pondi, and this became a cope up mechanism for me over time to deal with my impatience. And so, for every single minor inconvenience that happened in my life, I just thought about smoking one. And earlier, when people used to say that cigarettes are really addictive, I really didn't believe them. That I just thought that it's just a thing that just they just say and commercialize, promote in order to stop people from getting uh, more diseases, because we all know cigarettes causes cancer. So and that is why I just started once and I thought it would go, but then eventually I realized that this is exactly how people get addicted, because they make this as one of their coping mechanisms, and there are really good things to give that place to. I don't know if I can make sense or not, but you can make really good things as your coping mechanism, like going out for a run, going to hit the gym, meditate, especially meditate. I'm thinking like I really need to meditate now because this guilt is really too much. So we were talking about the library. So when I got too much impatient, or when after reading my mind felt too much heavy, I just felt that smoking a cigarette can actually cure that. But it didn't. It actually brought guilt. But still, I was so much connected to that idea of an escape with an addiction that I kept going back to the same chai shop, doing the same thing again and again and again. And this, it's just a really shit feeling. It's really just a simple, meager shit excuse. And eventually, I realized that I am also having some problems with my breathing. And so I made this habit less frequent. But still, yesterday was one of those days when I was gonna go to the chai shop and drink some tea and smoke a cig. But when I reached there, I saw that there were some elderly people sitting there and having some chai and some snacks and having a conversation. And I should have taken that as a sign that whatever I'm doing is not actually a good thing, that I have to hide from them or I have to feel awkward doing that in front of some elderly people. So what I did, that I sat on the next chai shop and waited for those elderly people to go, and it really felt terrible. It felt like a really cheap hide and seek game that I was playing and looking again and again over the counter at them if they will go, and then I can go there. But anyways, they were sitting there, and since I'm too much impatient, I decided to buy one cigarette from shop that was sitting at. And even though it was given to me by a really elderly person who really, you know segregated, who really showered that aura that I shouldn't do it in front of him, but I anyways smoked one. But it was one of the most guiltiest feelings that I have ever felt until now, I can say, because all through the time when I was taking the drag, I was looking around and seeing if that person or the elderly people or someone in the road that I know will discover me doing this stuff. I also drank the tea, which felt absolutely bitter in my mouth. It was a milk tea in the mid of afternoon, and it felt absolutely terrible to drink. And somewhere I feel like this is what doing a bad thing really feels like. And so I dragged more puffs, and I left this cigarette almost half unfinished and crushed it in between my feet and came back. But ever since then, my mouth was almost feeling terribly bitter, and the smell of nicotine on my fingernails every time I just touch my hands, and every time I just talk to a person around and had to think that they will get that same smell. It was a terrible feeling. It was a really terrible feeling. And so, since yesterday, I really thought or really considered that I won't be doing this at least for a month now, because I know if I quit it really abruptly, I'm gonna do it again and again and again. This is how it has always been. So I've decided that I'm not gonna smoke a single cigarette till the end of March. So let's see what happens. But I just really wanted to talk about it. I know I'm not perfect. I'm not even close to perfect. But I didn't wanted to hide this from myself. So I just decided to speak it out here. And this line that I wrote, that the good feeling of doing a bad thing is cheap and the cost of guilt is expensive. It doesn't just sticks itself to our regular addiction, but everything, like in general, everything that we consider morally or ethically wrong or wrong for our body. So that was for today. I know it's very abrupt video. I can't or I couldn't summarize it properly what I wanted to express, but I just wanted to post this. I really wanted to talk to myself today because all of these things were filling inside of me up to the brim. So I just decided to speak it out. If anyone saw this thank you very much for taking the trouble to stay until this time and to listen. Even if someone didn't, I just really felt good speaking it out here. So that was for the day. I hope I can come out with more positive things, more valuable things to talk about in the future. I'll try and I will try my better, try my best to be good every single day. So that was for it. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.